To its title,
Madam Speaker.
recognizing the gentleman from St. Mary's.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I have an amendment at the desk. Amendment 483024/1.
Amendment number 1.
So be considered reading of the amendment.
So ordered.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The problem this amendment is trying to solve is to get rich activists that want to manipulate our elections to make them stop. I'm going to call out the amendment for those that can't find it in their system or now you might not be able to read it. The State Board of Elections may not solicit, accept, or use any donation in the form of money, grants, property, personal services from an individual, nonprofit organization, or any other non-governmental entity for the purposes of funding an election-related expense or voter education or voter outreach or voter registration programs. We have a problem throughout the entire country where these so-called rich activists are donating money to board of elections through grant programs. You may have heard this. It's called Zuckerbucks. We have Facebook that also censors one political party. And then last election, they donated $419 million to influence 2,500 different election departments in order to circumvent campaign finance laws. And it is wrong. And we need to do something about it. Just yesterday, the state of Michigan passed this exact same legislation. Just yesterday, Virginia passed this exact same legislation. So while we don't have any legislation to be dealing with in this election year, this is the only way that we can make this happen before the 2022 election. And I press my amendment, Madam Speaker.
Floor leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Colleagues, I'd urge you to resist this amendment. As the maker of the amendment said, there is no bill on this. It should be a separate bill. Remember, this is a very narrow, specific bill. It has nothing to do with this amendment. This is a policy matter that should be considered independently, not made on the fly in a floor amendment.
Madam Speaker.
The maker of the amendment.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Can the floor leader please rise for a couple questions?
Floor leader.
So we accept amendments and vote down amendments all the time. So this is the process, correct? The process is to offer an amendment, and the bill deals with ballot canvassing. So you're saying that we should have had a bill drafted 3 months ago, but maybe we didn't know that was a problem. I mean, this is a completely appropriate way of making this bill better and addressing an issue, correct?
So this amendment deals with voter education, outreach, and registration. It is not something, those are areas that are addressed in statute. This amendment is a completely different topic that we have not vetted.
The bill title says ballot canvassing. So let me read you an article from RSB News dealing with Virginia passing this piece of legislation yesterday. And it talks about, for example, the two Zuckerbucks organizations funded vote navigators in swing states like of Wisconsin. The vote navigators assisted voters potentially at their front door to answer questions and assisted in ballot curing and witness absentee ballot signatures. This is an organization that is manipulating elections, and this is our chance to stop that manipulation from happening from the 22 election with this very simplistic amendment. So my question to you is, why would we want rich, super rich activists? And then look, this has happened on both sides. I remember this was a Koch brother issue a number of years ago. Why would we want this happening in our elections?
Floor leader.
So we're not aware of this being an issue in Maryland, and this is an issue that should be heard. The boards of elections should be consulted, and it should stand alone and have a hearing. Again, colleagues, I'd ask you to resist this amendment. Thank you.
So, Madam Speaker, on the amendment.
On the amendment.
This is a very simplistic amendment. It has the deal, it's 5 lines that anybody can easily understand that this is a very good idea to keep people from manipulating our elections. You know, we do have a problem in this country with voter integrity, and we need to restore that integrity back to our election process. And sitting here saying that, you know what, we're going to have a bill hearing, but that's not going to occur until maybe next year, and it might not be a problem, and it could pass, and it wouldn't be effective until 2024. I don't think that's a legitimate argument for this. We have an election, one apparently coming up July 19th, and we need to protect it for our own citizens. So I press the amendment, Madam Speaker.
On the amendment, all in favor signify by saying aye. Oppose?
Roll call.
Roll call.
Madam Speaker.
Clerk will take the call. The amendment fails. Are there any additional amendments to the bill to its title?
Madam Speaker.